to the Daily Digestion channel. Today we are going to be talking about something that I have learned about through trial and error, the hard way. And every time that I implement this regimen into my routine, it has significantly changed my life. And it's something that is so simple and so easy that I literally had to pay hundreds of dollars just for this one little idea. And the funny thing about it is I couldn't do it on my own. It was like I had to have someone holding my hand and making me accountable. So hopefully you won't have this same issue, but being a busy mom, a wife, and trying to volunteer at church and, help other people in the community, and need I say more, life throws us total curveballs and stresses beyond recognition. And we never know what's going to happen in our life. And we're thrown from situation to situation on a daily basis. I mean, we wake up in the morning, we have all of these ideas of things that we want to get done and things that we have on our checklist of things to do. And then something happens. Life throws us a curveball. It could be anything from your car breaking down to running out of some ingredient for a recipe, a pet being sick. The list goes on and on of daily emergencies that can pop up, that can throw our bodies in a state of fight or flight. And we're all different. Everybody reacts differently to stressful situations. And so, that's why meditation is so important, because they have proved through a lot of studies that by doing meditation, you can really react more stable and you can react calmly to stressful situations when you implement the practice of meditation. But that's not what this video is about, and that's not what my secret is. My secret is something very simple, but it's so critical to getting your health on track and healing your body, because we're constantly being stressed and we're constantly putting food into our mouth for fuel. Hopefully it's for fuel. Sometimes it's for other recreational purposes. And we've gotten into all of that on previous videos, and that's not the healthiest way to live your life, that's for sure. So, what is my secret? My secret is this: a food journal notebook. Guys, this is how I really truly healed my body and got my life on track. And that was with the food journal. When I first started going to see my kinesiologist, who, for those of you who don't know what that is called a muscle strength tester. There's somebody that have been trained to regulate and look and feel and see the person's body and to see what's going on with them. There's an actual science to this. They actually train chiropractors this method, and some chiropractors leave chiropractic and go do kinesiology because they believe in it so much. So when I went to go see the kinesiologist, he was like, I want you to write down everything that you eat, because I was having major digestion problems. I was vegan at the time. And I was having chronic bloating. It didn't matter what I ate. It was like World War III was going on in my stomach. My stomach would bloat so much, even if I was eating the most healthiest. I didn't even eat processed stuff, but I was having major chronic bloating. So he told me to write down everything that I was eating. Well, when I did that, of course, and I knew that he was going to be looking at it, it made me want to even eat more correctly. So I started doing all this research, and I was really getting the vegan diet down pat, guys. I was like, because this guy's going to critically analyze me. He was telling me before, you need to eat animal products. He was like, you're not a cow. You don't have 3 stomachs. Your body was not made to put down that much raw food. I was doing raw food at the time, and he was just like, you're stressing your body out. Well, long story short, I've come a long way since then. There are certain foods that you should be eating raw and in a certain amount, and there's certain amount of foods that you should be cooking, especially if you have digestion issues. And you learn what those are, but a great way to learn is with the food journal. Guys, if you just start this, just a little, it's so crazy how this works. It really works. Like, it was so funny. Like, I went through all of this trouble to get my food journal down pat, like, make sure I was eating all the right stuff and everything. And then I took it to my kinesiologist, and he's like, okay, here. He didn't even read it or look at it, and I was like, it was just like, but the thing about it was, guys, I was learning about what I was eating, because this is like magical. It really truly is, because it's like, it makes you think about what you're eating, and it makes you remember what you're eating, because a lot of times we don't remember what we had the day before because we're so busy the next day that we're not thinking about, well, I ate this and this together and it gave me indigestion and I probably shouldn't have ate that together. But when you just simply write it down, and this is, for some people this might be like, there's no way, I don't have time. But if you get a little book like this, just go to your dollar store, get a little book. And guys, at the Dollar Tree that we have here, they have so many little notebooks, and they're so adorable. They have little cute catchy phrases on it. Buy a special notebook, a special pen, and just start writing down what you're eating. Set it where you eat. If you eat in your car on your lunch break, put it in your car. Excuse me. If you eat at home most of the time, put it at your kitchen table. Wherever you eat, put that notebook there on a daily basis. Especially if you're on OMOD, it's so easy to keep a food journal because you're just eating 1 meal a day. So, it's really easy to keep up with what you're eating that could be causing your body to react to certain foods. And guys, food combining is critical, especially if you're trying to heal your body. Here is a little food combining chart that I found online, and I'll leave a link to this chart because I really like this one. It's super duper easy to understand, and it's not like really confusing or anything. But this is food combinations and choices. Green means recommended. Red means, discourages. And you see this little thing that's red, it means poor, you know. So basically, you don't want to eat proteins and carbohydrates together. So that's not a good idea. You also don't want to combine your proteins and your fats or your oils together. That's not a good idea. And you can look in more detail, about this, and I'll go into it more detail in another video. And then it says, but this does combine well together: fats, oils, and carbohydrates. So, and then, these are excellent together. This little arrow pathway: fats, oils, non-starchy vegetables, those combine well. These combine well, the proteins and the non-starchy vegetables, carbohydrates and non-starchy vegetables. And then excellent is non-starchy vegetables and mildly starchy vegetables. And of course, what these are, you can go into more detail yourself. But guys, and then down here's the fruits, and it tells you what combinations these work well with and so forth. But guys, this is an example of a food combination chart. Learn about these. Learn about what this is. And I'll make some videos on this later, but I'll put links down in the description box. But when you're making your food journal and you're writing all this stuff down, it will be so easy when you have poor digestion to go back and go, oh, my little food chart, blah, blah, blah. This is what I did. This is why it didn't work. So, guys, there's a lot to be said about food combining. There are certain foods that if you eat them together, they will cause indigestion. And it could just be so much as eating nuts. You may really not have a problem with eating nuts like you think. It could be the fact that you're eating your nuts at a time when you're eating and you eat other stuff on top of it, and the nuts are digesting really slow, and that's moving through your system, and then you eat something else on top of that, and it's moving fast, and it causes putrefaction, indigestion, gas, all kinds of problems. Guys, you don't have to live like that. You can eat the nuts, but preferably when I eat my nuts, I don't eat nuts unless it's at the very end of the day, after I've eaten everything else. And when I eat them, I used to think that I had to soak them, and that's fine and dandy. Maybe you do need to soak them. Just because I don't need to soak them anymore, because where I'm at on my healing journey, doesn't mean that you don't need to soak them. Just like drinking water. Just because somebody else doesn't need to drink water during the day, doesn't mean that you don't need to drink water during the day. Be very careful when you implement new strategies into your regimen. Make sure that that's appropriate for your body. And your food journal will help you. It will help you so much. I mean, I've told other people, about this, and they're like, they didn't want to do it or whatever. But guys, this has saved my life. A food journal, and it's like magic. I really don't even know what to say about it. It's just like, it makes you so consciously aware of what you are eating. And I think that's one of the things people start vlogging on YouTube, is because they're food journaling. I mean, when you edit your videos, you go back and you're like, oh, I ate this and I ate this, and that day, it seems like I really seem to have the greatest digestion ever when I ate that food in that way. And and then you're like, wow, I ate this and I didn't have any digestion problems. So then you start to develop this regimen of certain, you start to get an idea of food combinations that work for you, and then it'll be like your little go-to. you can star for that day and say, oh my gosh, my digestion was optimal that day. And then so like then, you know, that is in your mind more. It sticks in your mind. It's not that you even have to so much as go back and go, oh, let me read my food journal for the last year or the last week. It doesn't even work that way. It works more of a way of like, it sticks in your brain subconsciously, because you subconsciously want to make your body happy. That's just a given. People don't realize that. Like, your body subconsciously, once you start paying attention to things, you will automatically know, this screws my body up. Stay away from that. But it may not be so much as that particular thing screwing it up. It may be that particular food with that particular food and at that particular time. So this will help you kind of be more conscious aware of it. I'm going to do a video on food combining, because guys, hands down, food combining is critical. There's no doubt about it. Food combining, especially if you're trying to heal your body. Now, if you don't have digestion issues, you know, don't worry about it. You've got all this figured out. But, you know, but if you do, you definitely want to pay attention to food combining, because that's so important. But guys, back to the food journal. I hope that you will do a food journal. I really do. I hope that you will just try this out. If you miss a day, big deal. Don't worry about it. Let's say you try to do this and you only write down out of the week 2 days of what you ate. That's 2 days that it's gonna stick and you're gonna remember. So don't beat yourself up if you screw up and you miss a few days on your food journal or whatever. Start it on the weekend. If you're having trouble, of like doing it during the week, just start it on the weekend when you've got time and you're more conscious about it. Put it in your pocketbook. Put it in a place that it's going to be with you. Put it around your favorite chair that you always are going to sit in for the day. Or if you're always in your car every day, put it in your car. I mean, guys, it's so easy to do. You can do it. It will change your life. It really, truly will. And I had heard other YouTubers, I think Tanny Raw, she's a great YouTuber. You guys, if you've not checked out her channel, go check it out. She's amazing. That woman saved my life 1,000,000 times over, just by watching her videos. But guys, she talks about making a food journal. And when she said it, I was like, but when I went to my kinesiologist and I was having to pay for his services, he said, make a food journal. I was like, okay, I'm going to make a food journal. And I wrote down everything meticulously because, they were going to, like, pour over everything that I was eating and critique me and criticize me, which they did. They figured out that I wasn't getting enough protein and I wasn't getting enough fat. Another thing to consider in your diet, if you're just feeling horrible, is, are you getting enough protein? And you can Google online, how much protein do I need? And look at different websites and what they say. But this, just gives you a little idea, for babies all the way up to adult women and men. Adult men need about 56 grams a day, and adult women need about 46 grams a day. And if you're breastfeeding or pregnant, you need 71 grams. So, look at this when you're doing your food journal. Look up how many grams of protein you're actually getting in your diet if you're not getting enough. That was one of the things that I became aware of, when I made my food journal. And my kinesiologist was like, are you getting enough protein? And I was like, yeah, I'm getting enough protein according to, Dr. Graham and, you know, his 80-10-10 diet. Well, guys, come to find out, I wasn't even hitting the mark, not even close of getting enough protein. But when I did start getting enough protein, I started feeling so much better. And I even had to implement a little protein shake. So, you know, whatever you got to do, guys, to get that protein in, do it. Just do it. And so, yeah, protein is something to think about when you are looking at your food journal. Okay, guys, so fats. We all know that there's healthy fats and there's not so healthy fats. So you want to make sure that, of course, you're getting your healthy fats, and you want to make sure that you're getting the amount of fat that you need per day to help your food and your nutrients to digest correctly. And here's a little tidbit here of, it says for 1,500 calories, you're going to need about 83 to 125 grams of fat per day. And this is suggested daily ranges for a low carb or a ketogenic diet. For 2,000 calories, you're going to need about 1,100 to 167 grams of fat per day. And if you're eating around 2,500, then you're going to need about 139 to 208 grams per day. So guys, this is, you know, food for thought. These are things that you want to be thinking about in your food journal. Another thing you want to consider is how many calories are you eating a day? You know, are you getting enough calories in your diet? Well, this depends on the amount of time that you're being active and so forth, the amount of exercise that you do in a day. But roughly, you know, women need about 2,000 calories. And if you're trying to lose weight, you can do about 1,500 calories. And men need to be eating around 2,500 calories. And if they're trying to lose weight, they can, eat around 2,000 calories. But then again, guys, this all depends on your body, your weight, your age, and all kinds of factors. This is just an average. But these are things to be thinking about, guys, on your food journey and your food regimen. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get the proper amount of nutrition with digestion problems, or heal your body, or all of these things are important to take in accountability when you are making your food journal. So you can kind of keep up with this stuff, and it helps you to keep track of things. My diet, and that was when I was vegan. And when I started implementing what they had told me to do, I was like, wow, this really is true. And it made me consciously aware when I started eating and writing things down more. So guys, I hope this video inspires you to go make a food journal. It's super simple, easy, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to comment down below. If you make a food journal, let me know your experiences with making a food journal, or if you have any questions about a food journal, or if you would like to see my food journal, that would be great. So I hope if you have any more, if there's anything that you want to know about, or you want me to make videos about, please share down below. I would love to hear. I would love to hear about anything that you have to say. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.